Hey, hi, howdy, and hello friends, it's Wickedy here with a wickedly adorable game that has absolutely taken over my life and dreams, and I swear I hear this music in my head everywhere I go now. Welcome to Cult of the Lamb. I've poured in a good 40 hours or so into this so far, and I wanted to share a bunch of tips, tricks, and things about the game that'll really help you have the best time playing too. Alright, let's get into this. The time cycle and your cult progresses while you're exploring, so be sure to keep an eye on their stats and be prepared for when you return. It might be a big mess, or you might just have to strategically get slayed so you can head back home really quick to clean up all the poo that's been building up. While exploring, really break everything. There are a bunch of goodies just laying around in the rubble and debris around you. Some good early wood can come from the training dummies, some stones from these statues, and a bunch of other things too. Your tarot deck is your source of buffs and perks in this game. You can collect cards from various side quests or purchases, and that will add to your permanent deck. What you have in your deck is what will be available to you on any crusade you go on from the tarot dealer or chests or such, giving you that perk during that excursion. There are some fantastic cards out there that combined can make a crusade much easier and a lot more rewarding. There are 4 types of heart healths to keep in mind. First, there's your red hearts, which are your standard health bar. Temporary hearts are an extension of your red hearts for the duration of the crusade and can be refilled when finding more red hearts. Spirit hearts are fully temporary. Once you lose a bit of a blue heart, it's gone and you won't get it back unless you find another piece somewhere. Diseased or black hearts are pretty great. Getting one of these gives you a good perk. If you get hit by an enemy, you lose a piece, but every enemy on the screen will get hit too. Combat is relatively straightforward in this game. I find myself rolling around a ton to avoid damage and trying to take enemies off in smaller groups to avoid getting hurt too much. You have special curses you can collect as you go to help a lot and recharge it. Powering up the red crown lets you unlock more curses and better weapons, with some being extremely powerful and beneficial. When you find new weapons or curses in the crusade, you can recycle your old one for a coin or just swap it back. Some enemies might be a little tougher than others. Keep an eye out for those symbols above them. They can drop poison or bombs or other dangers. Every time you head through one of those doors, you are going on a crusade. Now, each crusade is different. The floors are never going to be the same. As you head in, any tarot card, weapon, curse, or special hearts you find are only applicable during that crusade, so your combat style will be different every time. It's good to get familiar with the different weapon types and curses because you never know what you're going to get. Now, for the most part, you won't actually be able to know what's awaiting you in the next room over, but there are a few exceptions to that. If you happen to have a tarot card that reveals the mini-map, you'll see symbols for different rooms around. Without that, we can still tell if there's going to be Clawneck the Tarot Reader or Kudai the Arms Dealer. The Clawneck's place is indicated with hanging stars and moons above, and Kudai's has a bunch of weapons hanging up. Some rooms have a lot of traps you might want to avoid. The enemies won't actually trigger the traps, but you can absolutely have traps hit them to help you clear the room. The map you see on each crusade is different, and each symbol represents something different as well. There are combat rooms, boneyards, different resources, shops, hearts, random event rooms, and others. It can really help you plan a route to the boss of that level. Oh, and some locations actually have added difficulty or rewards. Pay attention to the symbols before you decide what route to take. For example, seeing a skull and crossbones with a coin means that enemies are going to be likely poisonous, but you also get double coins. This indicates that instead of money from chests, you're going to receive some food. With market stalls, underneath will show what type of shop you'll run into. Quick tip, if you can avoid getting hit and defeat any boss on a crusade, you get a 20% item bonus, which can really add up. Oh, and 30% if you defeat the bishop without getting damaged. After defeating a bishop, you can head back into the cleared area and the enemies will be harder. If you run into a statue of a fallen bishop, you can break this down and go into the portal to try the big boss battle again, or you can press on and keep going. You'll keep all the tarot cards and boosters that you've gained and keep racking in the rewards. Just don't forget that you have followers to look after too. Are you finding combat too hard or too easy? You can change your difficulty at any time. Oh, this is good to know. Once you have 12 followers, you can absolutely unlock every door here. You don't actually need to beat the bosses in any specific order and can explore any of the levels at your leisure. Alright, let's head back to the cult and take a look around. So, day changing and the time cycle doesn't actually start until after your first sermon, which is a perfect opportunity to clear up the place without having to worry about taking care of any of the followers' needs. Everybody poops, and in this game, everybody poops a lot. You can use it for fertilizer, to craft certain things and help your fields grow, or make a tasty snack. If you are running low on fertilizer, you can get some more through composting, finding piles on a crusade, or the old-fashioned way and making a ton of basic berry bowls to spread. Once you clear up the rocks and trees at your cult, you might find it hard to keep getting a good supply of those resources. Trees will eventually start growing again, but it's a good idea to get a stone mine and a lumberyard going. Don't worry when they eventually break down, it's meant to happen. Just build a new one in its place and keep collecting, or you can upgrade it for it to last longer. I know it's tempting, but don't get too attached to your followers. Really, they don't have the longest life expectancy. This is a cult after all. Most villagers age into elders around like 50 or so, and have just a couple of days after that. You can do a bunch of various rituals with followers, and many of them are excited just to be included. Lucky for you, there are always new followers that can be found or join the flock. Dissenters can cause a bunch of chaos and ruckus and are just plain annoying. If you don't take care of them, they'll leave with some of your gold too. You can try to re-educate them, jail them to make the lesson really stick, cure them of their bad attitude with a magnificent mixed meal or minced follower meat, or use them the way I prefer to, as a good old-fashioned sacrifice. Gifts go a really long way. Giving gifts that you find on your crusade can not only help boost loyalty, but some items can be found to help your villagers live their best life too, in service of you of course. There are necklaces that can extend his lifespan, let them stay up and praise your fluffy name all night long, and some other great bonuses too. What happens to a follower that's wearing one of these when they pass on will determine whether or not you can get that trinket back. Hey, I never said that this was glamorous work. The problem with being a super powerful, undead, fluffy little lamb is that you never actually get to count yourself and go to sleep. So what should you do when everyone is sleeping? Well, you can go on a quick crusade, catch up on farming, fishing, or building some things around, but what I love to do is hunt for critters. There are some spiders that can show up, and if you snag them, you get a little morsel to help you feed the followers. These fireflies will give you a little bit of devotion when caught too. Keep an eye out on the spiders at nighttime. Sometimes those critters can have some goodies. I've seen blueprint scrolls and meat sometimes too. Let's talk about murder and the best way to get away with it. I can't imagine why, but not all of your followers like you engaging in a little casual murder here and there to take care of the dissenters, or you know, that one cow that just won't stop eating poo. I find a pretty good way to get away with it while no one is looking is to premeditate and plop that follower in jail for a bit, then do the deed when everyone is sleeping. Or you could just wake them up from their sweet dreams and take care of it that way. Just be sure to take care of the body, because nobody needs a scene. You are building your cult how you want, and with that, we gotta write some rules and doctrines that we can declare as you get tablet pieces. There are 5 categories, and you will eventually fill out 4 levels in each. Each time you select one in a level, you get to choose between 2 options. It's either or, no take-backsies. You can really choose whatever you want to start off with. A few are better than others in my opinion, but I prefer taking work and worship as my first and taking on the faithful trait. Because more devotion means that we can get more structures unlocked for our cult faster to make this place more self-sufficient, leaving more time for you to do what you want. Devotion is like your currency for unlocking more and better structures to build the best cult you possibly can. To really up your devotion intake, I highly suggest pressing forward for the Shrine Flame bundle quickly. It will help you build up devotion almost faster than you can spend it. Try timing your sermons to pair with your rituals, especially if you're doing one that negatively affects the faith, and keep an eye out for followers that level up during anything that you do in your temple. If a follower is ready to share with you their devotion gift, they won't gain any more loyalty until you collect, so I find it's a good idea to take a quick little break from worship, collect, and then get back in there and continue doing what you were doing. You'll be able to unlock special upgrades to your little cult leader as you defeat the big bad bosses, so think about what works with your playstyle the best. I prefer Darkness Within to start every crusade off with a black heart, or Omnipresence to help me teleport back home in a pinch as my first one. Your Fleece is something that you can upgrade as you unlock special side quests, and you'll eventually be able to collect them all and change what you're wearing, but you can only wear one at a time. They all have a pro and a con, so keep that in mind. For beginners, I find that the Fleece of Fates and the Fleece of Fragile Fortitude are really useful. Get to fishing. No, seriously, this can be a really beneficial thing in feeding your followers some much better food. Some foods with fish have some amazing benefits that can really help your cult become the best that it can be. You'll find the fishermen somewhere in the dark woods to help you unlock fishing. Money can be a little hard to get right away, so here's a quick money maker. You can extort tithes from your followers if you go with that doctrine, or of course sell some stuff. An offering chest will be available after some time passes after defeating the first main boss. Fishing again is super helpful here. These fish can be worth quite a bit. Using the Ocean's Bounty ritual before you take some time to reel a few in will have you swimming in coin. Your followers will build anything you place down and clear trees and stone. You can just watch them do their thing, but if you help just as it finishes, you're gonna get a little faith boost. Farming is pretty hands-on at first, but as you level up, you can get your followers to handle pretty much everything. This can be super helpful in keeping a good supply of food going or a decent cash flow. A summoning circle can be your best friend if you have troubles with your crusades. You can turn a follower into a demon to bring along with you, helping with gathering hearts or fighting enemies. Don't worry, it's not a sacrifice, they just get really sleepy. Offering statues are my absolute favorite thing to build, and you can build them pretty early too. Having these around gives a good place for your followers to show how much they love you by leaving little gifts for you to collect. It can be a great source of items that are hard to get and get them much earlier too. I'm not asking for much, just everything you got. Let's be real, some follower forms are just better than others. Now, as much as I love the piggies, kitties, and little bees, the dog is one you just got to have one of. That's right, you can pet the dog. Who's a good boy? Yes, you are. Oh, and in case you didn't know, you can press B on the keyboard or click in the right stick to make your little lamb go bah. So a lot of these things I wish I knew before starting out, but I eventually learned through trial and error. It's been a real treat to discover all the fun little secrets, and I've been having an absolute blast. And there's so much more to the game that I haven't even covered, but I really think that those are some things that you should probably discover on your own. So, what did you name your first cult in Cult of the Lamb, or what name are you planning on having? Let me know in the comments, I'd love to hear it, especially if there's a pun in the name. Alright friends, I'm Wickedy. Thanks so much for checking out this video and hanging out with me. I will see y'all next time. Bye!